We are losing biodiversity at a faster time than any time in human history. We have lost something like 60% of the abundance of our species since 1970. So we are seeing a collapse of ecosystems that will mean that something like 6% of GDP could be knocked off the UK economy as a result of the loss of ecosystems. We can add another 6% because of climate change. This level of change is bigger than the impact that COVID's had on our economy, bigger than the impact that the most recent stock market crashes have had on our economy. This is huge change. So biodiversity net gain is going to be a massive shift in the way that we build and develop places. It's going to encourage developers to avoid impacts on high quality, nature-rich sites, and then target their developments into the lower quality sites from an ecological point of view, from a biodiversity point of view. And that will mean that then they can deliver high quality green space on their site and potentially off-site as well, and make sure they're put in place, that management is put in place for a long term. However, the land that's used for development is a tiny fraction of the land in the UK or any of the impacts that we have. The estimate is that 95% of the impact of a development is off-site, is upstream, is in the mining of the materials, is the processing of the materials. And then only that last proportion is on-site. That's what biodiversity net gain at the moment deals with. We need to deal with that whole value chain. So biodiversity net gain is a key piece in the puzzle, but at the moment it feels like it's at least another 30-piece, 50-piece, 500-piece puzzle where we need to start adding these other pieces in. Even if we ignore the fact that biodiversity is being lost at this horrific rate, that it's like each species going extinct is like losing a whole piece of Mozart's music or a sonnet by Shakespeare. So even if we ignore all of that, if we put that to one side, there's still really good reasons for embedding nature in everything we do in a development. And there's the simple reasons. Well, we have to under legislation. Biodiversity net gain is now a requirement for all developments, and it's coming through for larger developments as well, our DCOs. So there's a legal reason for doing this. There's clearly a moral reason, but there's also a very clear link to all of the other reasons why we're putting that development in place. If we've got carbon targets as a business, we will not be able to deliver those carbon targets without thinking about nature. We're not going to make our cities resilient unless we build them with green space running through every road and street. We need to make sure that we're decreasing those summer peak temperatures, that we're managing stormwater runoffs, that we're dealing with droughts. To do that, we've got to put the right species in the right place to cool our cities, to help deal with surface water runoff. It's no longer enough just to build with concrete, steel and bricks. We have to build with the whole environment.